Hello, fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and you might remember an intro I did a couple weeks back where I was cutting down my own Christmas tree. Well, here it is. We finally got it all put up, and let me know what you guys think. That being said, today we're going to be talking about enemy types in Helldivers 2. As most of you are aware, we got the brand new Illuminate faction, and we have some new information from Iron Sights on some of the new types that are coming in and what their weaponry looks like. But the big question is, well, is there going to be a fourth faction? And it looks like yes, as there are some stuff in the data mine files that seems to be an indication of what's to come. We're going to go over all of that, but without further ado, let's jump into today's topic.
Helldivers 2 has been on an absolute tear when it comes to adding in new content. The Illuminate have been a really fun enemy presence to play against. That being said, there are only about 5 enemy types that we've seen so far as we are fighting the Vanguard Force, and Iron Sights yesterday on Twitter let us know about 2 new ones that are coming in. One is going to be called the Illusionist, which does a droid ball projectile. He even gave us gameplay of how it will look when it's fired against us, and I'll play the clip right here. Now, in addition to that one, there is also going to be summoners who have the ability to do shockwaves. So if you were afraid of Sith lightning, you're going to be a little bit afraid. I'll go ahead and play the gameplay clip he showed here right as well. However, before we could even begin to worry about the Illuminate and the blue beams coming in, the gloom is continuing to spread on the Terminate side, and with it, we are going to get brand new enemy types that could be the thing that escalates the war further. And if it does escalate further, there's something that we as Helldivers actually have as a tool that we can rely on, but also might end up damaging us as well. In case you guys didn't know, there are a ton of factions right now within Super Earth. There is the Ministry of Humanity, Ministry of Prosperity, Ministry of Expansion, Ministry of Unity, Ministry of Science, and Ministry of Intelligence, but no one really needs that, Ministry of Truth, and of course, the Ministry of Defense. Now, all those actually have specific mission and goals found in the game files. For instance, the Ministry of Science is constantly pushing Super Earth technology forward and ensures our superiority over our enemies. As we know, we are going to be getting new types of weapons and a science officer. It makes sense that we're going to see this faction pop up pretty soon. Of course, the Ministry of Defense is responsible for the defense of Super Earth against external threats. It manages the Super Earth armed forces, which we'll probably see when that new mansion comes in with the President files and we have to defend Super Earth itself. The Ministry of Unity ensures all of mankind is united as one and protects us from internal threats such as deviant behavior and expression of dangerous ideas. Fun enough, there is a rebel faction found in the NPC files, so it does look like Ministry of Unity is going to have some work to do as that enemy faction will be coming in the near future. Of course, the Ministry of Expansion tirelessly works to increase Super Earth's reach and secure vital resources for our society to thrive, and the Ministry of Truth is responsible for keeping all citizens well informed and mentally equipped to withstand our enemies' vile propaganda. And if you disagree with that, well, you need to go see your nearest democracy officer because they'd like to have a word with you. However, it's not just Super Earth that has a plethora of factions that are going to be coming into the game in the very near future. When we look at the galactic map, we notice that currently it is divided in such a way that there is going to be room for 2 more factions, meaning that there will be something coming after the Illuminate. But the question is, well, what is it going to be? And it appears that there is a person or a architect, if you will, that is running the game behind the scenes and could be actually be responsible for also a 4th faction as well, at least according to some current theories. One that I liked by Asunder wonder is that he's controlling all of them. This is all a giant war against Super Earth. Now, the first thing to go over is that there are a lot of people that are hoping we get rebels in the game, and it's very possible that that is an actual option, because Ironsight's pointed out that in the files right now, there is an NPC type named rebels. And what's important to know is that cyborgs in the original Helldivers game were the rebels, and they were a product of Super Earth. Ironsight's broke down pretty easily what's going on with the rebel faction, because there is a gentleman called the Architect, as we mentioned, that seems to be the creator of the bots. It is going to be fairly far away, and it was possibly sourced from the second group of cyborg researchers that fled from Cyberstan during the 100-year raid. These researchers then formed the Automaton Development Group. However, it's unknown right now if the Architect is even human, and file strings speculate it being an entirely new alien race, though that is speculated by the NPCs that are also in the game. We've actually seen science officers NPCs that we went over in a video the other day. They look to be part of an ongoing crew progression system that would be really cool coming in the near future. There's also this other really cool transmission, and it will give you a little bit more lore and insight and go into a little bit further of what Ironsight is actually talking about into the cyborg menace.
History matters. After the First Galactic War, Super Earth kindly allowed the cyborg secessionists to live, giving them stable work deep within the mines of Cyberstan. But, twisted by their implants, the cyborgs sought their revenge by creating the Automaton Legion.
So it's very clear that the cyborgs went to Cyberstan, created the automatons to fight us, but that the Architect might actually be one of those units, and he also seems like he could be involved in the evolution of the bugs in some capacity. As Ironsight says, one of the NPCs says the Architect is involved with the evolution of bugs in some ways. I mean, that's a pretty clear-cut thing going on right now. So while I do think it is possible there's going to be a rebel faction that could be the fourth one, I like the idea that it's going to be an entirely new race. Symbiotes would be very cool, and that the rebels will be more of a side faction slash mini faction that pops up from time to time. It doesn't make sense to really have us fight humans when there are so much more deadly threats. Although when we look at how we're doing in the war, we're probably the most deadly. We're gonna go ahead and jump into some community clips now. Don't forget to submit your own to me at Thorn Smash on Twitter, but without further ado, let's roll it.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. This is Pelican 1 preparing for touchdown. Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle.
Let me know down below, what kind of faction type would you like to see? Symbiotes, reptiles, cyborgs, which, I mean, I guess we already have. What would you think would be the most interesting in Helldivers 2? Also, don't forget to check out this video and this video right here, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas.